Hello, collective. So I purposely came here. I come here a lot when I'm, kind of translating a download. It's a pond in my neighborhood. So I thought instead of watching me talk, you could just look at what I'm looking at while I talk. You may not be able to see the ripples in the water, but you'd see the ducks and you'd see the geese and the birds when they happen. There's a little wood chipping going on behind me, but that's that. So yeah, I do want to get into this download, and I can't really prep this. I don't know who this is for. It's just gonna kind of come out of me, and to the best of my ability, I can unpack it as it happens, or I'll catch it there in the back. So there's like a lot of juxtaposition going on in this world, and I really like that word. You'll have these two things that are happening, basically in the same space, but they're very different from each other, and it'll be competing for your attention, right? I've been talking to a lot of people who are just very overtaken by what's going on in the world. And so with that in mind, I opened my channel, and what I received today was a message of observation. I want to say a message of observation, and it presents itself like choices. And we first open our existence to another day. We may not be fully awake yet, but we are awakened to another sun cycle, right? And that first choice is a big one. It absolutely puts you on the path for your day. Cannot express how important that first choice matters. That is why the recipe is to start your day in gratitude. So there's no question what the first thing you should do is, right? The question is, will you? And if you haven't done that today, then that's the time that you pause this even and have that moment of gratitude where you just are grateful that you have this opportunity to even have a day, that you get to make choices to have a good day or a bad day, but you have the choice to do so. And so first and foremost, thanks for the choice. You're thanking your creator for all of this, like the smallest piece of it, the breath, the thing you don't even think about, the breath, how important that is. But thank you for breath. Thank you for choices. Thank you for the people in your life, the lessons that you have and will learn, and the accomplishments and the successes that you will share. The whole gambit. Being mindful in this moment is the point. You start the day in gratitude, you are grounded, and you are mindful to be in this exact moment. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. The opportunity to be grateful. And then from that place, which is absolutely in your heart center, and what's at the center? What's the center point of all the chakras, right? Whether you go from crown to root or root to crown, you get yourself to the epicenter, and what is it? It is the heart. That is where you radiate the energy. So you start in gratitude. It's very easy to do so. Now that you are properly aligned and in that heart center, you are going to decide what types of things, events, emotions, triggers, whatever, what is going to have your attention today and what will not. There are going to be some clear outliers of do nots and clear outliers of will have your attention. Your children will always have your attention. Anyone that is proven that they do not deserve a place at your table should automatically not get the attention, So if the errant phone call, text, or whatever on social comes through, it's very easy to ignore it. You don't have to block, just ignore. Just move past, get to the next nano moment, right? Get to the next. whatever it is that you truly do, what you are wired to be, what you're wired to do at your core, you figured it out, then that is what you do on priority. And no matter what you do, you're also doing that. We're unifying. If you haven't figured that out yet, then that is definitely a part of your day. You are going about your day very intentionally, and you're saying, what am I naturally doing? What are my thoughts naturally? What am I naturally just drawn to? What, like, you're thinking about these things, all of which does what? It makes those thoughts and those choices intentional today, and all aligned with where you are going, how you are wired, what is to be for you, what you're manifesting. If you're saying the words manifest, intention setting, protection, self-love, even if you're saying any of these words, then yes, the very first thing you do in the morning is to express gratitude. Don't go any further. We don't brush teeth before we're grateful. We don't put foot to carpet or floor before we are grateful. Right? Yeah. And then everything that we do from there should be powered with the frequency of gratitude. Now, the world is this, that, and the other. Fill in your adjective, verb, and noun. Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. I guarantee that there will always be times somewhere on this planet that feel like what you think it feels like right now. Probably, because that's called ebb and flow. That is without light, there's dark and there's light, always in equal proportion. Where you see a congregation of something that is disruptive, that energy needs to be dispersed. Period. That energy needs to be dispersed. We are very, very powerful beings individually. So don't think that very powerful beings individually can't do very destructive things, right? What you're seeing in the world is not different than what we have been saying in spirit. These are different manifestations of it. And so the rules don't change. You meet it with light. You meet it with deliberate, intentional, opposite vibration. So yes, should there be world healing altars in every household? Absolutely. If you're listening to this, please make one. And tend to it. Keep fresh water on it. No dried flowers. We need life. We need new. So fresh water and plants, flowers, live things. Don't let flowers die there. Change them out. Compost. Just pointers. But healers heal. Troubadours, do your thing. Wandering minstrels, please come back out of the shadows. Artists, create your art about what you are experiencing and what you are seeing. If you're not traveling, as much as it's safe to, travel and get some perspective. Don't rely on your phones. Don't rely on any media. Rely on your eyes. Rely on your ears. What are you hearing outside in your neighborhood? Talk to people again. We've become too isolated. 2020 succeeded in many things. But what needs to happen now is to recalibrate and balance. You have learned how to hermit with the best of them. The whole planet learned to hermit. Now we have to learn how to re-enter society from a higher vibration in this new earth. We need to take it very seriously, the things that we say quietly in spirit and in our safe little woo-woo circles. We have to be the change we wish to see in the world. We have to be all those things. And we have to remember that how we accomplish it is because we are not limited to the size of our body. We are much bigger than our body. All of these truths are the same and need to be applied literally now. Okay? Telepathy, that's currency. Develop it. Grow food. Everybody that can grow food, grow food. Learn how to barter again, okay? Cash is king, yeah, but bartering, that's the kingdom. You share what you have in excess and what you need, what you're manifesting, because remember, we don't need, we attract. Feed that into the barter system. That's the energy that that goes into. This world's changing a lot. Oh geez, the elephant in the room. AI. Don't be like I don't participate. Like, you participate that by default. The magic is learning how to use it. So you can actually use AI to learn AI. You can go into your Chat GPT or your Gemini and just ask it for the crash course in AI, because you've been out of the loop and now the world is very different and you want to know what you've missed. Something like that. Talk to it conversationally. You'll talk back. This really, I think, is the end of the channel and my unpacking of said channel. I am a card toting Aquarius in the depths of my spirit, but yeah, and there's some Libra on the other side of that, but it keeps me balanced. But I share that to say that I did not outwardly embrace technology until very recently, and recently years, but and I have figured out through my process improvement background that AI is the enabler that makes it so that you have more time to do that which truly sets your soul on fire. So your mundane tasks, you can automate many of those. And if you have an automated bill paying and stuff like that, that's low-hanging fruit. There's anything that you repeat over and over, you could automate if you want to. Get on multiple streams of income, one active that you do, and at least 2, 3, 4 passive streams of income that don't require you to do anything right now to make that money. You want to diversify your portfolio, and not just like with stocks, bonds, and crap, but like so much bigger than that. You're diversifying your spiritual currency. Clair senses, look it up. Your clair senses, and the ones that you naturally are good at, use them. The ones that you're not naturally good at, develop them. It's just like your 5 earthly senses. Just because you don't do something particularly well in the beginning doesn't mean that you can't learn it better. Focusing on these things in the midst of the crazy is how you maintain your balance, maintain your spiritual hygiene. It pulls you in and reminds you to do the things that are very, very important to do. You've got to keep these chakras balanced. If one of them is pinging, I'm feeling a lot of people pinging in the sacral chakra right now, and it's because there's a lot of emotional things going on. Keep your carnelian and your tiger's eye close. If you don't have it, get it, please. You should have a crystal for every chakra, so you can have it with you that is very tuned to addressing whatever is out of balance with it. That's really important, okay? Check out my website if you need some tools, seriously. But don't go without. Make sure you're barefoot in nature. I don't care what the temperature is outside. I literally do not care. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying immerse yourself in water. I did, but you don't have to do that. But put those feet on soil. And if you can also put them in water, do. But at least, or snow, get your feet on ground, not concrete. Get them on ground, dirt, sand, natural things under feet for at least 15 minutes. Ground, recharge, Gaia, do it. I feel like these are all these things to jot down on your list to make sure that you're staying focused on while this world challenges your very ability to do so. The amount of distraction is through the roof. And this is Jacques talking here. The amount of distraction out there is absolutely ridiculous. The psychic attacks on us magical folk is absolutely spectacular. I have to tip my hat at some of these distractions. I really do. They're real, you know. Some of them I can just be like, but some you have to engage with, not just interact. You have to engage with to get past it, and you build up some strength in doing that. But it doesn't make it any less brutal. And I understand. Keep the selenite on you, around you. I mean, I cannot stress enough the cleansing on the go. Keep your selenite handy, like within reaching distance. And if not for you, maybe for somebody else. I did do a selenite cleanse on somebody in line the other day. I'm not saying the sneak attack is what you do, but yeah, for real, just keep the selenite around. It cleanses itself. It cleanses anything you put up against it. You know, you can't always sage, but you can always selenite. Seriously. Imagine that very, very, people call it a white light, but when I see it, it's more than that. It's the brightness of every color, every hue. It's all of the things. And when you imagine that coming to you so you can use it, and then you allow it to wash over you and create that shield of protection, that's what it is. There's nothing like it. I suggest you do that when you do that gratitude in the first thing in the morning when you open the eyes. And maybe even when you go to bed at night, when you express the gratitude that you get to have completed another day and you lay down. Seriously, that's another good time to do that. I purposely didn't go into the events of the world because that would lead you right into the distraction that I am literally giving you the keys of how to navigate it. You're going to become aware, and awareness is important. You don't want to be ignorant. You want to be aware. But what you're not going to allow it to do is to shake your spirit to the point that you can't conduct your physical and metaphysical duties to yourself and to the world. There is such thing as anchoring energy, and it's very important that we do so. And when it is time to move and do the things, yes, we move and do the things. But the ability to hold energy and move and do the things all rely on the same ability to control one's mind and to be present and mindful, and with the best spiritual hygiene you can muster, to be honest. You know, these are times that challenge the soul. That's the nature of this frequency here. And as in all things, when the frequencies come together, they do things. So it's very, very important for each of us individually to commit to being our highest and best versions, and navigating the ebbs and flows of this universe locally, not just globally, and learning all we can. Just learning and living and spreading your truth. You know, if all the chakras are balanced, then throat chakra is nice and ready to do its work, right? Heart chakra is nice and balanced. If you're going through something, go through it, get through it, and get through it stronger than when you entered. But do not succumb to the energies that would attempt to destroy. Don't do that. You're seeing it happen a lot in your face more than you have in the past because of how our phones work and how distraction has chosen to work with it. But you will make it through it. And when you need to talk, if there's no one to talk to, inbox me, as many of you do so well. And the network will continue to increase. I'm going to shut this down here, just shy of 20 minutes. You know, I don't like to prattle on and on. But I really hope that the majority of you made it to the end of this, because this was a loaded one. Make this beautiful, beautiful day. I'm going to give this a moment of silent cleansing before I shut it down, but just a few seconds, all right? All right. Have a beautiful day.